I was surprised that it started raining. I haven't been here for a couple days, so I haven't been listening to your forecast, but I thought, well, I guess it's not snow.
It's not snow. It's generally on the lighter side of rain today, but we got a big soaker coming up on Wednesday, Tiffany.
Do we?
Yeah, and to be able to say drought busting in a sentence is kind of cool because we really have needed this rain out there. But it's going to be a real nasty day. We've got some wind on the way as well. And you know what's the funniest part? I love our viewers. They're messaging me saying, "How much would this be if it was snow, Jeff?" Yeah, that's
curious.
That's the age-old question, and it's all dependent on things such as the moisture content and what the temperatures would be. So there are lots of answers to that question. So if I don't get back to you right away, understand why. But again, yeah, if this, let's just say on average snow, if you would equate 3 inches of rain, which is the possible high end of the range across our area coming up on Wednesday, and you'd equate it to a typical, we use snow ratios again, 10 to 1. We say, 1 inch of rain would equate to 10 inches of snow. So by that measure, you'd be looking at 30 inches of snow. That would be certainly something, but it is going to be, unfortunately, all rain across the area. We've got rain out there today, so obviously about 100% chance covering the entire area. A little break tomorrow, and then an absolute soaker again. This just tells you the probabilities we get rain, not how much rain we are getting. But I'll tell you, it's a lot, and we're going to show you how much in a second here. Rain falling across the area right now. Again, just the extreme outer Cape is looking like the only one that has yet to see a drop fall. You'll get in on it too soon. Got some heavier radar returns back to the north and west and some heavier rain and even some freezing rain and then a change over to wet snow as you get into the well-high north and west elevation. So if you are traveling that way, especially as we go into tonight with the temperatures falling, something to keep in mind. Then this is our weather for tomorrow. A little bit of a break here, but we've got this pipeline, this feed of moisture. It almost reminds me of something you may have heard of that goes on out west in the Pacific, an atmospheric river where you just get this, essentially it's just a fire hose of moisture from the Pacific. We're sort of getting that from the Gulf of Mexico here. Watch what happens along this developing front. You just sort of get this injection of moisture and it starts funneling right overhead as we head into Wednesday. So we're not talking about light rain on Wednesday. We're talking about a moderate to heavy rain. That's why I call it a soaking rain. And it's eventually going to become a wind-driven rain as well. And really just all day long, it's almost a stationary band of rain coming up from the south. And for that reason, we're worried about some localized flash flooding out there. You have to consider the ground colder, drier, harder. So a lot of rain runs off throughout the day with this event, and that funnels into our streets and our roadways, especially those that have poor drainage. You're certainly looking at some localized flooding and maybe even flash flooding across the area, especially if we were to get a band like this with these red colors showing up right here. Also indicative that we may see some thunderstorms during the day on Wednesday as well. We start to clear things out as this band finally shifts east overnight, and we'll clear it out for a dry, sunny, but colder end to the week. So here's how much rain we're looking at for today. Only about 1/4 of an inch. This is generally a light rain event. Still much needed. And then we get that break tomorrow, and then we tack on another 2+ inches to that. Again, some parts of the area right now, we're looking a little bit more out towards the Cape and parts of southeast Mass here in this red coloring. That could be getting close to 3 inches when all is said and done. Either way you slice it, it looks like a lot of rain for the area. Now, this is going to help our drought concerns. We'd love to see that band maybe parked over here as opposed to over here, because these are the areas with the least amount of drought concerns right now. The highest drought concerns are right along the Mass Pike in this red coloring, extreme drought, and we've got still a good chunk of the area in a severe drought as well. Shifting gears to that windy component of the storm on Wednesday, we've got a high wind watch, Washington County, over into Bristol County and into parts of southern Mass Bristol County, as well as all of Plymouth County, the Cape, the Islands. You're looking at gusts over 40 miles per hour, maybe even as high as 55 miles per hour. So that's going to contribute to a real nasty day out there. Now, it will be mild as this rainstorm comes in out ahead of that front. Then we're going to see a little bit of that colder air taking over for the end of the week. We could be well into the 60s on Wednesday, Tiffany. A little bit of a roller coaster here before we're back to the 30s by Friday. And then we're tracking some more rain Sunday into Monday of next week.
Crazy talk. 60s. Wow.
This is it. This is December in southern New England.